Okay, today we're going to do some relic hunting on the former battlefields of World War I. We are close to the town of Ypres and I picked this field close to a bunker where also the Royal Engineers and the Royal Artillery fought during 1917. But where I'm standing right now, I am close to Langemark, and a big battle happened here in 1915, 1916 and in 1917. And in this area, this is the area where the Germans first used poisonous gas, chlorine gas, in the First World War. Okay, so I'm going to look in this field here and we're going to look for some stuff like grenades, bullets, shrapnel, barbed wire, anything that has to do with World War I. World War I was so chaotic and there was so much war on just a static front for 4 years long that there's so much stuff still laying in these fields. But we'll see what we're going to find. And I literally parked my car here and the first thing I'm finding is shrapnel and more shrapnel. This is what we're going to find a lot in these fields, but I'm not going to film every shrapnel piece that we are going to find. Otherwise the video would be way too long. So the thing is with these World War I battlefields, if you just walk on a field like this, you'll find a lot of stuff. It's just insane, from shrapnel to bullets to just anything you can name. Even if you're lucky, you can find bayonets, guns even, or grenades, parts of shells. It's just littered with a lot of stuff. Like here again, we found a big chunk of shrapnel. Let me zoom in for you guys. Like the field is littered with that type of stuff. It's also heavy, so that's why you know it's shrapnel. Some of the parts, like this is stone, this is way lighter. But yeah, let's see what we can find. Here, and what is this? It's sort of a hook. I don't know. Hey, it's still in something. This is definitely from the First World War. I'm not sure what it is. It's a hook by some sort and it's still stuck and screwed in something. Yeah. Focus. There we go. I don't know, I'll keep this. If you know what this is or what this was for you used for, just put it in the comments. I have no clue. Yeah, that is also what you find a lot, is glass. So what the Germans and the Allies of course used in the trenches were glass bottles for wine, rum and all that type of stuff. Also stone jars is what they used, but glass as well. So you'll find on places where trenches were, you'll find a lot of pieces of glass, because when the farmers are plowing the field, they would break up the glass of course and the glass bottles, so the glass will be spreading everywhere. You'll find like clear glass like this, you'll find green glass, you'll find any sort of pieces of glass, and sometimes you find a piece of glass with still some inscriptions on it, and then by those inscriptions you'll know if it was German, British, French, just name it. But this field looks pretty promising. Okay. I already found something major. This is insane. So what I usually always do on these fields, so here if you look at this, you look at the sides, it's all more roughed up and it's a little bit deeper. And if we follow this trench, look what we have there. So this is the lower part of a shell. Here you can see the outer copper ring still on it, and it's empty. Yeah, it's empty. So this is not dangerous anymore, but this is the lower part of a artillery shell, and that is a beautiful piece. I will definitely bring that with me. Here, would you look at that? That is really cool. And you can see that this one has been fired, of course, on the top because it's destroyed, but also you can see it on the copper ring. So if you see those markings as sort of a engravement, that's from the thread of the barrel. So the artillery piece would shoot through the barrel and then it would rotate because of those threads. And that will make the artillery shell rotate, which it will be, that will make it way more accurate and shoot way further. So that is really cool. That's a cool big piece. It's pretty heavy though, but I'll bring that one home with me. So like I said, these fields are completely littered still with World War I stuff. And I was just looking here, and in the beginning of the video I find something like that. That is pretty promising for the rest of this field, I hope. And it's pretty cool. It's close to a German bunker. Just a little quick history. The Germans built these bunkers before the Third Battle of Ypres. They did that because the Allies, there was a long period between them just fighting between the trenches, but before a large attack happened. So what the Germans did, they built a lot of defensive systems, including these big bunkers, to keep the Allies from breaking through. So I'm lucky, the police drove by and I was just filming this bunker instead of walking on the fields. I'm not sure if it's actually legal to walk on these fields and search for this stuff, but I have, since I was a kid, I've always done it. And I was just lucky enough that I was filming the story with the bunker here, that they drove past and they saw me film the bunker. Like I said, I am not 100% sure if it's okay. So in the past I had some green lights from the farmers so that I can walk on their fields and try to find stuff. Not sure, like I said, if it's completely legal, but hey, I'm just filming this bunker, right? Here, and behind the bunker we found a little bit of green glass. So I'm not sure if green glass was from the Germans or from the British, or I have no clue. But you can find so many pieces of glass also in these fields. And here we have another piece of shrapnel. And if I just go a little bit further, we'll find some more glass. Green and even brown glass. I know glass is not the most interesting thing, but yeah, you have brown, there you have some green and some clear glass with some shrapnel pieces next to it. It's pretty cool that you find all that stuff on these fields. But let's find something cool. Let's find something like barbed wire. Oh, this is this is a nail that I just found. It's completely rusted up. You can see the top and the bottom. Like, of course, nails for the wood, for the trenches, is still everywhere to be found as well. So literally just in this little vicinity, and I can see some more there, this is what I found. A lot of shrapnel, even a ring for some sorts. I think this is a piece of barbed wire or a nail, I'm not sure. Some more stuff. Here, this is part of a, you can see the shell, you can see the outer ring. This part is round and this is the inside. Still all on these fields. Okay, I have no clue what this is. Maybe it's long, maybe it's big. That's what she said. No, it is pretty small. I have no clue what it is. But yeah, let's look further. So like sometimes you find like big pieces of shrapnel like this, and then I'm always thinking like, man, this piece of shrapnel flew with more than 200 kilometers, even way faster, through the air after an explosion, and sometimes hit people in their head or in their chest, and it's just saying like, this is really heavy. It's just an insane thought that this would be flying so fast, go through you, and then that was the end of you. It's just sometimes so insane to think about. That's what I always think when I pick up like huge chunks of shrapnel. And what is this? Ah, this is a little bit... Oh! You see that? There's like a screw on it. I have no clue what this is, but I'll keep it. Maybe I can figure out what it is. It's pretty flat, as you can see. And there's a little bit of a screw on top. I'll bring it with me. Maybe it's something cool. Okay, I have no clue what this is. So I broke a little piece from it, and this is like iron. And I have no clue what it is, but I'll dig it out. It's definitely not a bomb, so I'll dig it out and see what it is. Here, there's more pieces of what it is. It is iron, so I have no clue. Could it be a helmet or something? Here the ground is really like thick clay. Here, as you can see it. So it's really hard to get it off. So let's move this out of the way. Okay, I got it loose. Here, so this is what I got out of the ground. I have no clue what it is, but I think it's too thin to be a helmet. To be part of a helmet. I am not sure. I don't think it is, because it's way too thin. It can also break pretty easily. I don't know. It is iron, so maybe it's part of I don't know. It was on the side of the trenches or something. I have no clue. But I was thinking that maybe I was pulling out a part of a helmet or a whole helmet. Like, that would be my biggest find yet, but I have no clue. I'll put it aside so the farmer doesn't drive over it with his tractor. Here, it's 2 more nails. This one is really well preserved or visible, and then we have one here as well. Here, look at this. It could be part of a barbed wire pole. It could be a very, very big piece of shrapnel. Oh, it's a huge piece of shrapnel. Would you look at that? Here, that's my hand. And if this is flying towards you, yeah, you're screwed. It's very, very heavy. That's really cool. You can see the shape, right? Now this was the outside, and this was the inside. Crazy. I was doing this relic hunting once with my dad in Verdun, and we found a piece of a bone. We think it's a human bone. It could be from the hip or the shoulder blade. And yeah, what do you do when you find a human bone? Well, we called to a certain number, and they said like, yeah, we cannot do anything with it because there were no dog tags in the vicinity. There was like nothing. So they said they gave us like the tip, rebury it and give it like a proper burial. So that is what me and my dad did. We also found a shovel in Verdun, and then we dug down and then buried the piece of bone back into the ground and gave the person who the bone was from, we gave them now a eternal resting place. So yeah, sometimes when you go over these fields, you can still find bones, yeah, human remains, even boots and stuff like that. It's pretty insane. Here, another big chunk over here. Oh, this was a huge shell. Here, and even here, this is really big, probably part of a barbed wire position. Like this one is new, of course, but this one definitely isn't. Here, another big piece, but this is a weird piece. You see that? What is this? Could be part shrapnel, but this is really, really weird shrapnel. There's like it looks like there's a nail in between over there. Huh? What could this be part of? Here you can see the indents. That is weird. I've never seen such a thing. I also found some cloth. But this is probably not WW1, but they do have like those holes in it. I'm not sure. Don't think it's from WW1. But yeah, that's the thing, right? You never know. You never know if it's from WW1 or like a piece of cloth like that, or it could be from modern times. You actually don't know. But probably this one was a bit newer. So the only thing I'm really finding now are only like shrapnel, glass and nails. That's That's literally the only thing. That's literally the only thing that I'm finding now on this field. In the beginning it looked very, very promising, but now when I walked a little bit up and down, for like half an hour or so, I didn't find much than shrapnel and yeah, all that little bit less interesting stuff. I would have hoped, because there was probably 100% a trench line in this area. So I would have hoped that I could maybe find like a bullet or a shell casing, or maybe like a, I don't know, how cool would it be to find a fork or a spoon or a knife? That would be something really cool. I'll keep walking here for like maybe 20 minutes. Maybe I'll look a little bit behind the bunker, and then I'll call it for this field. And then we will continue on another field probably tomorrow, because I have some other filming to do. Whoa, that is abnormal. What is this? It's heavy. It's like a, yeah, I don't know how to say it, like a big bolt? No, not a bolt. Well, let me call it a bigger nail. That's a huge one. Okay, that's pretty cool. Especially I was talking about, oh, we're not finding anything interesting to film and stuff like that, but now we found this. Pretty decent. I'll put it on the side of the road so the farmer has a little bit less of iron in their field. So that's a thing as well for these farmers who live in this area and have their soil on the same ground as where the battlefields happens of World War I. So a lot of farmers drive with a thick plate of iron underneath their tractor. So if they hit a shell and it would explode, that will be a little bit more safe than if they didn't have that. Sometimes you even hear stories of like farmers who die because they were driving over a shell and it exploded. And that's something you actually don't want. So a lot of the time they're driving and they're plowing the field, and all of a sudden, and they're like, oh no. So they get out of the vehicle and then they find like a big shell, artillery shell, which is still active. Then what they usually do, they put it on the side of the road and they call it in. And then during the week on a routine trip, the people who dispose of the artillery shells and the old bombs, they will pick it up, put it in the back of a van and secure it. Sometimes if they're very dangerous, they'll be exploded on site. If not, they'll be transported back to like their headquarters, be stored and then later destroyed. So sometimes you even find grenades with gas on them. So gas grenades, during World War I, a lot of gas was also used, and eventually they didn't put it through cylinders. In the beginning the Germans did it, they opened like big cylinders and then the gas would carry with the wind. But later on during the war they put gas inside artillery shells. So they would fire artillery shells and then the artillery shell would explode and gas would come out of the shell and poison the people who are near it. And sometimes you even find such shells. They have like a white, I don't know how to say it. They're sort of, well, they turn out a little bit white or a different color than normal. So whatever you do, if you find a shell like that, do not touch them because the poison is still on there. Do not do it because that can really screw you up. And we found something interesting. What is it? Oh, it looks like a clasp from something? No. I don't know what it is. Here it has... What is it? That is weird. Could be from a box. Something like a wooden box. Sort of a seal. I have no clue. And over here, you can see it over there. Here. It's a cartridge. It's a German one. It is probably destroyed by one of the farmers who drove over it, or maybe during the war. But here on the back you can see the primer. Yeah, this is what I was looking for, and I found it. That's nice. I'm gonna bring this one home. So look what I found here. I am not sure. It looks like sort of a... Yeah, I don't know how to say that in English, but the thing is, so this got me thinking. Right? So in this area where we're standing now, gas, chlorine gas, was used for the first time in World War I. So now, by the Germans, and we are actually standing on the German front line. So now this makes me think that it could be part of a gas canister where chlorine was came out of towards the British trenches. I am not sure, it's probably not the case, but I will bring it with me and I will look at photos to try and see if those gas canisters photos exist and then see if it's maybe similar to it. I have no clue, but I'm definitely going to bring this with me. It would be so amazing if this is part of like one of those gas canisters, but trust me, it probably isn't. So now I'm walking here. I have no clue, is this? Oh, it's welded together. That's weird. Could be part of like the barbed wire defenses, but I'm not completely sure. This field, like I said, it was promising and now we're finding some cool stuff. I also found this on the field here. It's a bottom part of an artillery shell. So you see that little ring in the middle, so that will have the fuse tube on it. So it will be a tube that goes into the shell all the way up, and the fuse that goes on top would go all the way down, go all the way up after it was fired, and it will go up and then eventually ignite the fuse. This is a really cool find. So look at this. This is also something I was looking for. It's a shrapnel ball. What the Germans and the British used during World War I were also artillery shells that wouldn't blow up on the ground, but above the ground, above the trenches. And then what would come out of those artillery shells is these little shrapnel balls. So the British would use zinc, I think, I'm not sure on that, but what the Germans used, they used iron. So that's why this one is completely rusted. This is a German shrapnel ball. And the funny thing is, it's on top of former German trenches. And of course this was fired after, probably in 1917, when the British were holding the line here in Ypres, close to Langemark. But that is a really cool find. This is always what I've been looking for. Or this is always what I'm looking for when I'm going on a field trying to search for stuff. Here probably another one of those balls. Yep, another one. You just find them everywhere. And like I said, it's iron, so that's why it's rusty. Oh, focus. There we go. So we also found a sort of a pin that you put something in it. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks pretty cool. It's not like a hand grenade pin or something like that. Yeah, you found loads and loads of stuff on these fields. So we are back on the same field. I was filming at the German cemetery Langemark over there. And yeah, it's still not dark. I probably have a little bit of an hour left before it gets dark. And then I'm going to my accommodation and sleep. So let me try and see if I can find some more cool stuff here. And then we're on to the hotel. So I got this map on my phone, which is the Linesman app or Maps, and it's on the Memory Map app. And I can zoom in. I don't know if I could do it with my gloves. No, it doesn't work now. But you can switch between World War I maps, and you can zoom in on the exact location where you're standing. So you can see the marker where I'm standing. I'm literally standing on top of German trenches. So all those X's are trenches, and that is literally this field. So it's pretty cool. You can really pinpoint on where you are on the map and then see where trenches were from the Germans or the Allies, depends on the map that you have. And you can really find the exact same places of where the trenches were. It's a really cool map. Thank you, JD from the History Underground, because it's his account and he borrowed it to me for his map animation, so I can also use it in my free time. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of shrapnel and shrapnel and shrapnel on these fields. And sometimes you think, hey, ooh, that's nice, and they pick it up and then it's only just a piece of shrapnel. So yeah, same here, ooh, nice, and it's just a piece of shrapnel. You can't do anything with that. Here are some pieces of wire. Sadly not barbed wire, but it could be part of the barbed wire entanglements or from the wooden duckboards of the trenches. Who knows? And a piece of shrapnel as well. As usual, huh? So while I am relic hunting and looking for well, relics from World War One in this field, let me tell you a little bit about trench life. Because usually, like, I'm walking now on top of German trenches, but trench life wasn't that fun. It's there's a lot also of similarities between World War One trench life and in Ukraine nowadays. But like, just imagine the horrors of trenches, like the constant artillery barrages, the constant firing between the trenches, also the mud, the rats, the lice, all the diseases. It's just, trench life was so hard. And even though you were on the front lines for just a few days in those trenches, well, with a few days, maybe 4 till 6-7 days, after rotating and then coming back within a few weeks, even that small time span can completely scar you for life. It's absolutely crazy to think about. And while I'm just walking, I'm finding a lot of pieces of glass, which is, this one is brown, and ooh, what is this? Oh, of course, you can guess it. Shrapnel. But yeah, being in the trenches was probably the worst thing that you could do on the Western Front. Well, one of the worst things, being in frontline trenches. And I sometimes say to people, like, if there is one war I could choose to not fight in, it would 100% be World War One, because the conditions were so extreme. Me personally, in hindsight, knowing all those stories, I could probably never keep myself level-headed being in those conditions or fighting during World War One. Like the gas, the trench life, the constant putting your head down below the trenches, it would just be insane. The artillery, I should stop talking about it. I should just relax and look for some relics, otherwise I'm going a little bit too deep. Yeah, let's look for something good. So always when I'm looking for relics, I'm also always looking for that color over there, the little bit blue-greenish, because that's usually copper, which is oxidized. And when I pick it up, this time it isn't. It's sort of a sponge or something. But usually I'm looking for that color, because yeah, oxidized copper, and they used a lot of copper in World War One, so that could mean like copper rings from shells, or copper bullets, or copper shell casings, or anything that's copper. I think even they made medals from copper, but I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But always look a little bit for that green stuff. I'll probably find something green during this video, or maybe my next relic hunting series. I even did some other relic hunting videos. You can see it in there that I find like copper green rings and stuff. Really cool. Oh yeah, and with those copper rings, it's a little bit of a somber story, but I want to tell you guys. So there was a guy who lived, I'm not sure if it was the Somme or Verdun or Ypres, but it was a guy who for years collected copper on the battlefields. So also what he would do, he would find live grenades and artillery shells, and then with put that shell, brought it back to his workshop, and then with a screwdriver and a hammer, he would smash the copper ring from the artillery shell, so he could collect the copper, melt it, and then sell it for money. But I think he did it for like 10 to 20 years, and it always went good. Nothing happened until one time where he was hammering with the screwdriver and the hammer on top of the copper ring, and like ting ting ting, boom, and the artillery shell exploded, and he was also he became another casualty from World War One, even almost 100 years later. I'm not sure when this was, but I do know the story that it was has been told to me once. But that's just insane. So whatever you do, if you find an artillery shell, do not touch it. Don't do anything with it. Look, this is what I mean. The green, bluish. Please be something from. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually copper. This is from something of a shell, or yeah, it could be anything, of course. Maybe it is an outer ring from a shell piece, because you can see the. Oh, let me focus. Because yeah, you can see the middle line. I think it's part of a outer ring of a artillery shell, but I'm I'm not sure. So that's what I mean. Look for these. This one is not really nice. It is heavy though, but it's not really nice find. So I'll just throw it away and don't bring it with me. Sometimes when I show people who don't really know a lot about World War I, I show them the relics that I find or have found. Then they're like, oh dude, you should go there with like a metal detector. And I'm like, trust me, if you go here with a metal detector, it's completely useless. You will just go around with the metal detector and the only thing you hear is beep, 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 beep. So, and it's all shrapnel and stuff like that, so it is not a good idea to bring a metal detector. You can just walk on plowed field like this and just search on the ground and you will definitely find something, even though it's shrapnel. But so yeah, like I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, what I already found on this field, and that was maybe like 5 minutes on the field. Sadly, I'm not that lucky anymore now, but you know, you don't need a metal detector to look in these World War I former battlefields fields. So. Oh, look at that. That is a nice find. You see that? It is copper. It is the top of a fuse, the bottom of a fuse, let me say. Here you see the rivets. So this would go on top of the shell, artillery shell itself. And this was the fuse that ignited it. And on the inside you can see as well where they would screw the rest of the fuse on top of each other. Like this, these are finds. This is actually nice. I'll keep this one. This one is really good. That's awesome. I'm happy. That's awesome. Here, so what I found here is a big piece of glass, and that's what I meant. Like this is the bottom one. But you see those rivets? I don't know how you say that, but those 3 lines. So this would sit like that, and then the bottle would be on top of here. That's nice. I'm not gonna keep this one because it's too broken, but you can see still some stuff from the glass bottle. I'm not sure if it's German or it's pretty thick below. Could be anything. And what is this? Also a piece of glass. That's weird. Oh. Yes, and next to that piece of glass I'm finding a bottom of a tiny artillery shell, or is this the top? I'm not sure. It is round, and you can see here the fuse of the shell will be in here. I found these loads of these already, so I'm not gonna keep it. But that is a decent find. That's a nice find. It's pretty heavy as well. What's this? Oh, a big piece of shrapnel. Here, so what I found here, this could be a handle from a mug. So here it is stone, but yeah, you never know what it is exactly, right? But this could be like a handle from a mug that they will hold like this and drink out of. But yeah, sad that it's broken, because we'll never know. Just look at that as well. How beautiful it is. Some relic hunting, a German bunker over there, and a memorial, and a former battlefield. What can I ask for more? I have everything here. Yeah, maybe a cold beer, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Definitely not. Aha! We found our first piece. Yeah, barbed wire. It doesn't look anymore really like barbed wire, but yeah, you can see where the spikes would have been, and then the wire would continue, and then more spikes. But yeah, it's our first piece of barbed wire on this field and during this relic hunting. So you know what? I'm happy. And some more. Oh, I was about to say some more nails, but yeah, I don't know what it is. Some wire again. Field is full of wire as well. Oh, what is this? First I saw it laying down, I thought, oh no way, a cap badge. Or part of a cap badge, but not my luck. So what I tell the boys usually when we go relic hunting, I always say like turn every small piece of shrapnel that you see around. Well, in this field I didn't do it because there's just so many pieces of shrapnel. But I think this piece of shrapnel is pretty cool. Yeah, so a bottom of an artillery shell. So you can see the bottom. This is the bottom, and here it would go up. It's a pretty nice piece of shrapnel, though. That's a nice piece. But I have a lot of those, so I'm going to leave it here. If somebody wants to pick it up and send me a photo, I'll put it next to the bunker. You know what? I'll put it on top of the bunker. So, if anyone sees this video, I'll put it here, on top of the bunker, over there on this side. So if you find it, send me a photo of it, that you have it. And then I'll give you a free tour in Oosterbeek or Arnhem for half a day. For half a day. So what did I tell you about the blue-green stuff? You see it? Over there? Let me guess, that's a cartridge. Yeah, I can see the shape already. Yes! A German cartridge. It's completely blown up or in pieces. And a big shrapnel piece as well next to it. That's a nice one. So how can I see that it's German? Because the Germans had the primer straight with the cartridge. The British had it a little bit sticking out. And the French one were very wide from the bottom. And the cartridge was way wider. Oh, it even has some dates on it. Hold on. So I'm not sure what it says, but I think it says 16 on the bottom. Focus. It doesn't focus. But I think it says 16 on it. Yeah, it doesn't focus. But I'll try to make a picture. Hold on. So yeah, it 100% says 16 on it. 1916 this bullet was manufactured, and this cartridge. So I'll show you a photo now. I made that photo with my phone because that can focus better or something. So yeah, pretty cool find. Pretty cool find. It's a German one, so the primer is completely gone. As you can see, it's a pretty big hole in it. That's what she said, but no, I'm not gonna make jokes like that now. I already did. Let's try to find some more in this area. It is literally next to the bunker. So I walked there assuming that the trench would go in that direction. So yeah, nice find. Oh man, this is a huge part of a shell. So this was the bottom. Oh, sorry. This was the bottom. That's insane. It's so heavy. It's crazy. Yeah, this was the bottom and then this would go up. But look how thick it is. That's insane. That's... wow. Just imagine getting this thrown at you. Here, look, here how heavy it is. Yeah, you probably don't hear it, but... So I saw this from a distance. I'm not sure what this is. It's a iron plate that is bent. Yeah, I have no clue what this is from. In the distance it looked like the top of a barbed wire pole, but no, it isn't. Put that aside so the farmer doesn't drive over it. Oh, I see something sticking out of here. What is it? Oh! Okay. I think that, oh here, you see this, this is probably part of barbed wire, definitely. You see that screw on the bottom? So it would drill into the ground. Ah, okay. I'm not 100% sure if it's from barbed wire, but that's a pretty cool find. Not gonna take it with me though. I think we'll end this video here with relic hunting on the Somme, on Ypres. Okay, I was about to leave this place, but I think I found something. Okay, let me take a look. Yes. What? Okay. Look what somebody put on top of the roof of the bunker. It's an artillery shell. Okay, it is still fully loaded. Luckily the fuse is missing, so it's not that dangerous anymore. But still, it can really screw you up if it goes off. But why, why would somebody leave it literally on top of the bunker here? That's insane. Wow, yeah. You can see that copper ring that I was talking about? That's the one. Wow. They just left it on top of here. Just look at that. I put my brightness a bit down so you can see it a little bit better. It's pretty big. It's actually pretty big. Well, I'm not going to touch it. If it was completely empty and I could look all the way through it, then I probably would have taken it home. But this, no way I'm going to touch this. No way. Here. It's completely full of explosives still. That's pretty funny. So I was just about to drive off and then I saw that laying on top of the bunker. So hey, that's a cool find to close the video with. So yeah guys, I'm going to end it here with this last piece of shrapnel that we found. So I'm going to end the video here because yeah, the sun is going down and yeah, I'm not going to search here in the dark on a random field. So I hope you guys enjoyed this relic video, relic hunting video about on Ypres, on the Ypres front lines. If you want to see more of these kind of videos, just let me know in the comments. I will make some more, probably tomorrow in Ypres, but I will definitely make some more in the sun because I know some hot spots over there. We got a German bunker behind me. We got the sun going down. They grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. If you know, you know. So close the video with that one. If you like what I do, I have a Patreon, so support me on Patreon. I put the link in the description. Yeah, like I said, German bunker. We'll end the video with that one. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Salute.